for my brother. I'm gonna try to walk him through the basics of this game. Okay, first things first, loadouts. Alright, so with loadouts, you got your weapons, scroll between them, and then you got burst arts and blood arts. Okay, these are burst arts. These are abilities that will, help you in battle. You can only use them when you enter burst. And I'll explain that later. And then, alright, so you got a ground one, a jump one, and a step one. Just like, you charge at them, you hit, while running you hit circle and it'll do your special move. But, the ones I use are all with the glaive. The ones I used to use, were that, just with the, dual swords. That's what I used to use too. They used to not be for glaive form. Glaive form is perfect for, overall DPS. And then you got all these abilities. Blood art effect, goes with your burst art. And they each do different things. I used to use that one for blade dance. And I use this one. You're gonna have to use them a certain amount of times on specific enemies to unlock the next ones. And for jump, crescent moon, twin moons, and explosive blast. And you can test them out just by hitting the option button on here, so you can really figure out what you want. And then glaive form R1 square. And then you can preview those while you're in here, and the options to back out. And these go with, it goes with your burst arts. Blood arts and burst arts go hand in hand. And of course, guns. You can do all guns, assault guns, sniper guns, shotguns, ray guns. I used ray guns because I like what they do. That you can choose their default ammo, which is a laser beam. You're limited on range though, but you can still get in from a decent distance. Shotgun, of course, up close and personal. If you don't want to be near them, you can just make a sniper and just shoot them from afar. Assault gun, technically like a machine gun. Oh yeah, and bullet types. To get more bullet types, you just gotta talk to the merchant Faith, and she'll sell you different types, and you can even customize and make new ones. Shot, laser, orb, medium, large. Large uses more cost. Medium's less. Small you can attack a lot more with that, but your damage is not going to be as high. That's all, preference. Of course, shields. You gather materials from them from consuming origami. After you kill them. But to get your reverse start and blood arts going, you have to consume, an enemy. Use your devour on them while they're still alive. And of course, you can have different abilities to go with it. You can all engage effects. These ones you're gonna have to do, assault missions to get those, and I can run you through that later. And then to go with that, you got acceleration triggers. Warrior was the one I used for the longest time. And for these, like you see, you gotta do certain things to unlock them. Warlord's the one that I've been using for quite a while now. You can see there are other ones that I don't have. And then your burst control unit, which is extremely useful. With mine, increases attack power of melee attacks, level 2 and higher by 1% up to 5%. And these things are ranked. You can see down at the bottom left, rank for a burst control unit that enables powerful combos. Okay, so the gray ones is rank 1, which it's okay, it's good for starting out. And you got 3, the green ones are rank 2, which you'll probably have those for the longest time. And that one's really good for glaive form. I used it for the longest time, but since I already have, perks, I really don't need it. And of course, outfit, it's all, personal preference. Once you clear the main story, you can come in here. You can change literally everything. And of course, up here you got titles. You unlock those from completing missions and killing a certain amount of enemies. Item prep. You can come in here. You can sort it out with the pad button. In here, you can pick which items you want to take. You're limited on 12, per inventory. Your personal inventory, but here in your storage. You can go through all your stuff. Upgrading craft. And these are all just stuff you unlock as you progress through the game. Beat specific missions, kill enemies, and consume them a certain amount of times. Of course, there are these weapons. For me, on this God Eater game, I've only used the dual wielding swords because I've wanted it for such a long time. It wasn't in the first one or the second one. And then of course you got the scythe, which the scythe is pretty good too. It doesn't attack as fast as the dual wield, but you'll have a better chance at breaking bonds with it. But with these scythes, you have the longest reach out of every other melee weapon. Of course, charged spear, you just stab stuff. Hammers are perfect for breaking bonds. They're slow, but each single hit you do, it's gonna be a lot. Personally, for me, I use non-elemental weapons, and I don't use elemental weapons because it'll take longer to craft the elemental weapons that you would need, and you'd be constantly swapping out weapons a lot. And you really don't need elemental weapons, as far as melee goes. I've gone into assault missions where you and like 7 other people other players go in on a mission to kill an enemy within a specific time, but who, like, within the top 3, whoever gets, like, the highest bits of damage will actually, learn, or they'll unlock the engage effect that the other players, were using. You gotta be in the top 3 to get it, though. And of course, Buster Blades, just like hammers, but they do, I'd say they're a lot like hammers. Long swords used to be like the best, like, quick attack in the game before, the third came out with. And of course, short sword. It's like the biting edge, but not as much DPS. And of course, you got guns. And if you don't know, like, if you're wondering if you have enough materials to make it, you can click square, and then on here you can look up the top. Of course, you can switch it to see the damage, and then click triangle again to look at the materials. And then here you can just go through everything if you want, instead of individually going between the menu. Same thing with shields. Buckler shields are the quickest shields to guard with, but you don't have as good as like, your blocking ability isn't gonna be perfect. Tower shields are perfect for that. You can block most attacks with the tower shield, but it's slower. A normal shield, it's a mix between the both. Burst control units as you progress through the game. Completing, like, if you complete every mission as you go through the game, including the optional ones, you'll eventually start unlocking more of these. And you can buy the first ones from the Merchant of Hope. She comes around in every so often. After like 2 to 4 missions, she'll spawn, and like I'll show you about that later. Outfits, come in here and mess with them. And then installing skills. This is very important. So when you go to install a skill, you can see right here, it's like, if it's got +1 or +2 on it, you can click on there, apply bonuses only, and with that you'll increase the overall attack power and stuff. But you'll reach the max. Once you reach your cap, I wouldn't try to put any more in it, but if you want to change your special skills on it, you can. As you'll see on my weapon, to the right, slasher, I got three slashers at level 5, and that just increases slashing damage, which is what my weapon does best. And Oracle just increases your total OP, which is what you use to shoot bullets, just to use your gun. Same thing with the guns. And you can see here, info, sacrifices to max HP to increase max OP and stamina by by 5 per level. And you can have multiple different ones on here, which is perfect. So you don't have to use health boosters, stamina boosters to get your health and stuff maxed. But once you reach, like, let's say you're making rank 7 or rank 5 weapons, like, it's gonna depend on how many God Arc slots you have for it. Same thing with the shield. And I have auto guard on there, because that makes the biggest difference. And rebuild skill, you can come in here and you can rebuild them. And after that, you can click rebuild all. It'll randomly select ones like that. Or if there's certain ones you don't, you can just go back to them, click X on it, and it'll boom. And then square again. And I don't know if it's random. And then here, as you can see here, you need certain items to craft, healing items and stuff. The best ones for me is Restore Pills 2, Restore Pill S's, and I'll use a lot of steady Restore Pills, which heals your health over time. The number one, it's good if you mix it with the second one if you really need it. And, this one too. Health booster is only if you're not able to like max out your health and stuff right then and there. You can just pop one of those and it'll increase your max health. I would say like health booster increases your maximum HP, but if you want to max it completely for a battle, you gotta use like 2 or 3 of them, which can be very consuming as far as items and stuff goes. And then of course, as you pick up different materials and stuff, you can come here, and the ones that you've picked up, you need specific materials to craft them. Like right there, pure mineral, and as we go, it becomes different. Some of those are items that you'll pick up off the floor in the missions, and some of them are ones that you'll gain depending on how good you do, per mission. And then here, you can change your allies, overall abilities. And there's so much in here. Like, there's just a ton in there. And this really depends on what you want, for your teammates. But you can, if you don't want to use them, certain missions you will have to use specific, characters. But most of the time, you can pick other characters. And of course, you can get your database, which I know you know of. And of course, multiplayer. Alright, Alright, now I'm gonna show you some combat tricks. Assault missions are the missions you do with other people, to get other engage effects. Like if you want more engage effects, you're gonna have to do these. And then I'll help you with that at some point. And then right here, that's a friend. You got regular, R1, avatar. And of course, they got different presets, so. Alright, here we go.
Relaying area information. I've got your back. We can do this.
Okay, when you're in a mission, if you hold down the right trigger and X, you will dash. Just like that, of course, or you can hold down R1 and R2 and do that. That uses stamina, but if you're trying to get to an enemy quickly, you can. Oh, yeah, another thing, when you push down on the on that big pad, you can scroll through these. It's how you take your items, and then in here you can give commands.
All members, prioritize eliminating origami. Gotcha. That's its source of strength. Emergency situation. Unexpected medium origami detected.
And once you do that, R1 and triangle to send the burst rounds, which is very, very, very helpful. And then switch targets, you just move the right analog stick. The target, you hold down L1. And then to skip that part, you just click the options button.
That it? We work well together. Thanks.
And these things are also really good. They'll restore your health and your OP. Enemies can also use them to regain their health and stuff. But yeah, if you got any extra questions, let me know and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. Oh yeah, and a lot like Monster Hunter World, you know, each of these materials has, you know, a drop rate percentage, but compared to Monster Hunter World, it's a lot more simpler. It's easier to get materials on here. And also, if it, you know, say you or a teammate gets incapacitated, you know, everybody has, you know, a certain amount of lives, and it's not all shared. So, like, if you get incapacitated and a teammate doesn't come and get you up in time, you will lose 2 endurance. Everybody starts off with 9 endurance. And of course, you can increase that with your abandoned god arcs, which is what you'll get for each mission. And with those, what you do when you get them, install skill. You know, each one is a different type. So, melee. These are abandoned god arcs. They all have different perks and stuff on them. And some of them have to be at least level 5 or higher to activate. That's why I only got, you know, level 5 slashers, because there's not, you have to be level 5, but it's a certain percentage for each level. And then in this room is where you'll find the merchants. This chick is always here. This one comes around every 2 to 4 missions. And sometimes she'll have the same stuff, sometimes she won't. And, you know, she'll sell blueprints and stuff. She's got... Oh yeah, and outfit tops and stuff. You can't view them and see what they look like before you buy them. But in this one, when you create, you know, outfit tops and outfit bottoms, you can actually see what they look like before you make them. It used to not be like that. It was different than that in the first and second one. And then here she'll have, you know, these ones. Sometimes it'll be different. Sometimes she'll have the same ones. Sometimes she'll have ones that she didn't have. And these are all pretty useful. Of course, over time you can buy the same ones and then combine them to make a better one. And the traded items that you get, you can come over here, you know, select triangle to sell them. Those ones, that's all they're meant for. You can't really use them for anything except to get FC, which is that Fenrir currency. And these are what you use to like help you make extra materials if you need them, but you need a certain amount of you know, them to make something. Some of them use specific ones, some of them use, you know, other ones. Yep. So when you know, once you get to this place, just come down here, you know, talk to her, and then after you start the mission, you just come here to, you know, initiate the start. Of course, you got your terminals here, but I'll show you where you can rewatch cutscenes in case you accidentally skip one. If you accidentally skip a cutscene, you know, don't worry about it. You just come here. You can either go in that room or you can go in this room. Either one. Oh yeah, in this room you can't go in it. Oh wait, actually, shit. Yeah, you can. My bad. Alright, so in either one of these cabins you can come in here and you'll see a terminal in each one. And then you see there's an extra option there, archive. You can view all the cutscenes that you've seen, music, and voices.
Come on. Let's go.
And of course, as you rewatch cutscenes, you can watch them with your character's current, you know, stuff on.
Hey, you okay? You seem pretty out of it.
Yep. Okay, but these, you can always test them out. Difference dagger dance. This is what I used to use. You just put them on. So these ones, I have them paired with different, you know, blood arts. Oh yeah, another thing. Okay, you see there's triangle equipment sets. You can come in here, you know, after you set up, after you set up a full loadout and stuff, you can come in here and save them. And here, the first two are going to be in your avatar cards. And so as you'll see, I have different, outfit sets, which, some of these aren't really completely updated with, current weapons I use, but there's these two. And then do that, menu, save set. And if you want to reload an old set, you can just come in here, load equipment set, boom. Yep. There we go. Alright. I hope it's useful for you, bud. Got more questions? Just, ask me and I'll tell you.